Last time we stopped somewhere around deploying web parts, simple web parts. Open project. ఏమన్నా చూసావా రమేష్ ఇది స్లైడర్ గురించి ఆ టైప్లో? ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, దట్స్ గుడ్. మనం ఇప్పుడు jQuery మీదే చేస్తాము. AngularJS కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్. jQuery ఏంటంటే సెట్ ఆఫ్ లైబ్రరీస్ ఉంటే దాంట్లో ఏదో ఒకటి నీకు కావాల్సింది యూస్ చేసుకుంటావు. బట్ AngularJS అనేది ఇట్స్ అ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ అంటే సంథింగ్ లైక్ వాట్ క్లాసెస్ యూ నీడ్ టు క్రియేట్ అండ్ వేర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్రియేట్, అదన్నీ నీకు ప్రోటోకాల్స్ లాగా ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఇది ఒక చోట క్రియేట్ చేస్తావు, దాన్ని వేరే చోట యూస్ చేసుకుంటావు. డేటా యాక్సెస్ లేయర్ అని, ప్రజెంటేషన్ లేయర్, బిజినెస్ లాజిక్ లేయర్, దాన్ని ఎలా స్ప్లిట్ చేయాలన్నది AngularJS మెయిన్. బట్ దీనికి సంబంధించిన కోడ్ అంతా ఏంటంటే ఆల్రెడీ కొంత రిక్వైర్డ్ కోడ్ అంతా బిల్డ్ చేసేసింది. దట్స్ వాట్ AngularJS. యా, రెండు లైబ్రరీసే, బట్ వే ఆఫ్ యూజింగ్ jQuery అనేది ఒక యూటిలిటీ ఫంక్షన్స్ లాగా వాడతావు. జస్ట్ యూల్ కాల్ ద ఫంక్షన్స్, యూల్ హ్యావ్ మెనీ థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫంక్షన్స్, యూల్ జస్ట్ కాల్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఫంక్షన్ యూ నీడ్. Whereas AngularJS is a framework. Though you have functions to use, but even to use you cannot just call like a jQuery. You will have a controller, you will have model there and view, factory, etc. ముందు మనం అక్కడ అది క్రియేట్ చేసి వాటి నుంచి చేస్తాం. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ, ఎంవిసి లాగా ఇట్స్ ఒక ప్యాటర్న్ని, ఆ ప్యాటర్న్కి ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్. AngularJS ఒకసారి చెయ్యాలి, అది కొంచెం ఫస్ట్లో కొంచెం డ్రైగానే ఉంటుంది. నీడ్ టు స్పెండ్ సమ్ మోర్ టైం. ఓకే, AngularJSకి బెస్ట్ వీడియో ఫర్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఏంటంటే AngularJS 60 minutes అని ఉంటుంది. 60 minutes ISH. ఇది బాగుంటుంది, ఇది ఒకసారి చూడు. ఇట్స్ 1 hour 60 minutes, అందుకనే 60 minutes అని ఉంటుంది. ఈ ఫండమెంటల్స్ ఇవి బాగుంటుంది, ఇట్స్ వర్త్. ఓకే, లెట్ మీ copy this link and keep it somewhere. యూస్ఫుల్ లింక్స్లోనే పెడతాను తర్వాత. Okay, now let's go back to our web parts. యాంగులర్ జావాస్క్రిప్ట్ కోడ్ నువ్వు దేనికి వాడతాము అన్నది మన ఇంట్రెస్ట్. వెబ్ పార్ట్స్ అనేది అది కూడా ఇట్స్ ఎ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్, వాట్ వీ వాంట్ టు డూ. ఇలాగ వాడాలి అలాగ వాడాలని రూల్ అని లేదు. యాజ్ లాంగ్ యాజ్ యువర్ వెబ్ పార్ట్ కెన్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ HTML, JavaScript or CSS, yes. JavaScriptలో if you want to use AngularJS or jQuery, yes, you can use it. ఇదే వాడాలి అలాంటి రూల్ ఏం లేదు. ఓకే, మేబీ నీకు ఈ స్లైడర్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ చేసినాక నీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. బట్ ఎనీవే, జస్ట్ టు కంటిన్యూ, ఐఎమ్ ట్రయింగ్ టు ఫైండ్ మై ఓల్డ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్. Maybe it's in 2005, GL Studio 2005. the open project. Range. Sorry, we will start with a new project. నేను version 2013 యూస్ చేస్తున్నాను. Okay, starting a brand new project. Again 2015 or 2012 ఏదైనా వాడచ్చు. ఇన్స్టలేషన్లో you need to check that office developer tools. Okay, and selecting the office or SharePoint and just checking. రాకేష్ జస్ట్ మేము స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఇంతవరకు ఇంకా ముందుకెళ్ళింది ఏం లేదు. జస్ట్ వీఆర్ రివైజింగ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ వీ డిడ్. నౌ వీఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ అ న్యూ ప్రాజెక్ట్ జస్ట్ ఫర్ ఓకే నౌ SharePoint solutions. If you are targeting 2013, you select 2013 templates. That's what I said last time. If you are targeting 2010, select that 2010. Okay, and let me open the Zoom as well. జూమ్ చేస్తున్నాను, దాని గురించి ఓపెన్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, ఇది 2013 and these are 2010. Usually for production applications we always select this one, but it's not like a rule we should select empty project, because the reason why I select empty project is in empty project it is like a plain paper which you can add whatever you want. You can add in the empty project 2 visual web parts or a different master pages or anything. I always select this one, but if it is a simple project and it's about only a one web part, and if you have to do only one web part and it is visual web part, then you can just choose this thing. Okay, and this is for workflows. We haven't come there yet. We'll talk about this later, workflows. Okay, now I'm selecting empty and C#. I'll call it as, we'll just keep it somewhere, see documents, Visual Studio 2013 and projects. SP slider. This is good. And if you remember last time I was telling there are two types of applications. One is sandbox solution, another one is form solution. And this is by default it will come this, but you don't have to stick to this. You can change if you want to. This is the site collection we use for our development purpose. It's not meant for the final production. In final production, when we deploy it, we will tell the path where to deploy. And again, about this, if you have an option, always choose the form solution so that you have access on a high level, form level. But if you have to do only with the site collection, and if you have limited access on the form, and if you are told to use only site collection level functionality, then choose sandbox solution. And for now I'm selecting form solution, and I'm just taking the default sites pp, which is a site collection which we created a long time back for using the publishing templates. Okay, that's it. That's where we are. And the name is SP slider, and if you see, we have nothing. This is the features, the folder, and we don't have anything. And the packages, let's expand and see what we have here. And this is just the project name. Every SharePoint project, remember, it will be having a .snk file which we require for signing. It will create automatically. It's a strong name file. If you want, you can create a new strong name file on your own, but we don't really have to do that. Just for the sake, every SharePoint project will have, and if you create your own class library, and if you want to use your class library in our SharePoint project, that means by referring your class library, then your class library should have the strong name file. Means it should be signed. Your assembly should be signed to use in SharePoint. Anyway, I'll repeat the same again when we use the class library. Okay, for now it is good, and these are the references which you can look later. And if, yeah, Ramesh, disconnect. Into the ename strong name. And if you want to deploy your assembly into the GAC, which is a global assembly cache, or we call assembly folder in .NET, and the path will be C Windows it should be somewhere here. C Windows, okay, Windows and assembly. This is the only one folder where Windows will allow you to have two files with exactly the same name but different versions. Okay, and since the day .NET came into the picture, this GAC is there. Even your Windows application, you may not use your DLLs in the GAC, but all your Windows DLLs will be here, somewhere here, Microsoft.Windows or whatever. Here I'm using mostly SharePoint, all those things. Else is SQL Server. Okay, and to place a file here, your assembly need to be signed, which is called, when I say signed, sorry, properties, this should be signed. And to sign, you should have a strong name file. To create a new file, you can do it from here, or you have a utility. If you just open up this, in fact this is not even opening up anything, but if you see, it's sort of garbage. So the importance of this is, it says that if you want to use that assembly, this strong name file, which will have a kind of encrypted data there, that file needs to be available. If that file, this strong name is not there, then it thinks that maybe this assembly is corrupted. And only, and this option will let you to deploy in a GAC. GAC is a global assembly cache here. And if you see here, you'll have files with the same names. For example, if you see this, both are with the same names but different versions. This is the only place in Windows it will let you keep two files with the same names but the different versions. Okay. Okay na Ramesh, clear లేకపోతే strong name ante it's not something to do with the really strong name. It is a file will be having encrypted logic. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Okay. This will have, it's just like a piece of encrypted information which will be attached to your assembly. Without this piece of information, your assembly will not, can't be used wherever it is being referred. And strictly to place this assembly in a GAC, global assembly cache, or you call it as assembly, you need to sign this assembly. Assembly means this one. Any class library is called assembly. This is assembly name and this is a default space name. Our assembly name is SP slider. You can change it later if you want to. And is it signed? Every SharePoint will be signed automatically, but if you create a new class library, it won't be signed by default. That's what I'm saying. Let's, for the time being, let me create a class library. And if you see, there is no strong name file, snk.snk extension, and if you go and see, here you don't have any strong name file in this project. But whereas in the SharePoint by default it created. But having said that, you have an option to create a strong name here. Go to the properties of this. Sign this assembly, and you have an option to say create strong name file. You have a username and password, signing algorithm. The file by default it creates like key.snk, but you can say maybe your project, like my project, and you don't have to keep the password if you don't want. And now this is also signed, and now you can refer this in here and we can deploy into the SharePoint. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have if you haven't signed this assembly with a strong name, then you can't use class library 1 in here. Okay. Okay, yes, I think we're spending too much time on those things. Okay, let me come up to the SharePoint, and starting with the web part 1, you can name it as whatever you want, and SP slider we said, and let's call it as a web part slider 1 for now, just assuming that we'll have it maybe slider 2 tomorrow. And as soon as we add slider 1, this before it was empty, and now we have kind of another feature. You can name this feature as differently. Sorry, you can say SP slider 1 feature. And if you see this package, and the package name is SP slider, and the features, it has one feature as of now because we just have only one feature, and under this feature we have one web part because we just got created one web part. But these things you can change it. It's not that it is fixed. You can control what your package will have. That means what features your package will have, and what functionality, means what web parts your feature will have. ఒక్క నిమిషం. Sorry guys. Okay, I think we are clear with what is a package and features, because I won't repeat this again. We just repeated again because this is in the second week. We are talking about the package and the features. That's why I want to stress it. Any doubts in there, or we can start with the web part? Okay, starting with the web part. And this is called as a standard web part. What is the other web part is when you can create a visual web part. This is a visual web part. Okay, and as of now I created only a standard web part. In the standard web part you have to do all your stuff by yourself, means all the HTML, everything from the basics you have to do it, even the JavaScript or CSS, whatever you call. But as in the visual web part, it will give you a high level design layer, visual interface, where you can drag and drop few components. But there it's something like you can imagine visual web part as your ASP.NET user control, where you have a ASCX file and the code behind file. Okay, for now I'll use this. I think last time we used this for just hello world as well, but this is more flexible. But everything you need to do it on your own. Okay, and if you remember, this is what we did last time, just this thing, that's all. We didn't do, maybe I don't know if we did some greeting stuff on this, or that's a unvisual web part, but this is what we did. Now what we want to do is we want to do a slider. What is a slider I'm talking about is this. jQuery slider. A few people call it as a hero banner, but end of the day it is like a rolling thing. Okay, I don't want the part, I just need slider UI. Okay, what I want. jQuery image slider. In fact, I want exactly something like this. Yeah, exactly. Carousel. Yeah, so is it called as carousel? Maybe I'm wrong then. jQuery carousel. Is there something jQuery carousel? Select carousel. No, not sure if there is something like carousel here. Okay, we got something here, but this is what I want. Let me see if I can get this. The HTML, what I am after is HTML, so that we don't build from scratch. Sliders, this seems to be easy. Image slideshow with captions. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly. Yep, that's it. So what he is having is HTML and a JavaScript, and before calling this class he got some files to refer in there. We need a CSS and JS. Okay, call the slide. That's it, as easy as this. So first let's do this without even coming to the code. Then I will show why we need a code and where we are going to integrate a web part there. Okay, just opening publishing pages. Okay, I'm creating page. Slider sample. Okay, this is the default page layout. What is the default page layout? Body only. We can set what can be our default page layout for our page. Okay, for now I'm just using the basic one. It's good for now. And inserting to just copy paste this text. Any idea what web part can we use? I want to just copy this somewhere and bring that in without creating a new web part. Can we use any out of the box web parts? Okay, we can use content and media web part. Content editor, content editor. It is in content and media, and this is the web part. Let me do what I want. First, I want to copy this. We can do it as HTML and click OK. As we don't have those images and it is showing up, that's totally fine. Let me copy this one also. But we need these files. As we need this file, we need to download it. Box slider. jQuery simple. I just want a minimum JavaScript file. jQuery carousel. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. Oh, download this slider, huh? That's good. Okay, that's good. Download this slider. Easy, life is easy. Yes. Okay, view downloads. Downloads. Image slider. Okay, let me copy this into my machine. It's good. Extract all. Image, where is this image? Okay. Okay, let's see this. First, let's run from the HTML itself with jQuery. Okay, this is totally good enough for us. I just want to bring this kind of carousel or slider or whatever you call our hero banner to our SharePoint. This is what our goal for today. And if you study this, open with, let's say 2013. Okay. High level on the, if we zoom out, it has a script, JavaScript, it has some styling, and it has some HTML. This is what even your web part has to do. And it's actually embedded in a HTML page. We are not going to embed in a page. We need all this content. Let's copy this as is. If you see JS, it is looking in a JS folder, and out of that it is looking for jQuery file and a JSSR slider also. So we need to have these two these two JavaScript files in our SharePoint somewhere. For now we'll place it in a temporary location. Later we can have a permanent location for that, and in this we have a JavaScript code. Let's not worry what it is doing and how it is working, because as it is working here, it should work in our page as well. And it is good that he got images as well, so that we need to place our images. It's good. Let's start The reason why I open Internet Explorer is we can drag and drop in Internet Explorer easily compared to the Chrome when we work on SharePoint, or you can even use Explore open with Windows Explorer option. I will show you. And let me save the page whatever okay, anyway, this we're not interested in this because we got a better code. And let me save it. Guys, the reason why I'm dividing between HTML and our work is usually you will have a folder something like this and says we have a HTML and they call it as a front-end developer job, and front-end developer gives us a working HTML copy, means a working means but JavaScript or CSS how the style should be and how it should look like, and this slider we are going to integrate with our SharePoint. That's why I got it, and we are not doing our research on how the slider is going to work and how the CSS is going to work. We assume that somebody gave us all the HTML and CSS and JavaScript. And site contents, pages, and slider sample. And if we just edit this, edit source, and if I come to our file, like I said, I want to copy from here to here. I'm copying everything here, and I will change the references based on where I copy. Okay, even the image paths I need to change wherever I place the images. For now it is looking in the images folder, I think. Image source, this is image, and 011 dot something. Let me just say okay. Okay, and save it. We just saved it, but we don't see anything here. Let's go and edit and see what happened to the code we just pasted in content editor. Looks like still there is code, but let's go and see. Yeah, script is there. And where are the styles? Style is this part. Even styles are there, but it's not showing up. It could be reason looking for the images, or it could be because of the CSS. And if you noticed something, before it was the source was different. It was looking JS. What I mean is this. Source before it was just JS / jQuery -1.11.3.min, but whereas after I copy pasted and saved it and came out and came back in and edit, SharePoint changed some HTML, means changed these tags, and it does do some other changes. So to avoid those changes, if it is just simple HTML which is like this, maybe use this control inline editing feature. If we come out of it and this intact stays good, this is exactly what we did, and it is still there like that. But if you place too much complicated HTML, and it does its own changes automatically and it will screw up. So to avoid that, use a content link file. This is what content link file, and again that content link file, you should place it somewhere in the SharePoint. So now it's time. I don't, if you remember, Rakesh, you were asking me where we can place the JavaScript files, where we can place the CSS, all these references. Now we are talking about that. Site contents. It's not that we should place only here. For the time being, I'm placing in site collection documents, but the ideal location is master page gallery. Not sure if you remember master page gallery. Master page gallery is site settings, master pages and page layouts. This is the master page gallery. This is actually the right location, but to make it easy our life, let's place in the contents in the style library for now. Click style library, a new folder. Hello. Exactly. Automatically ఏమీ జరగదు. You need to refer everything yourself. ఈవెన్ మాస్టర్ పేజెస్ గ్యాలరీ ఏంటంటే టిల్ 2010 ఇక్కడ స్టైల్ లైబ్రరీ అని ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు చేస్తున్నారు కదా, దాంట్లో ప్లేస్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. బట్ సిన్స్ 2013 మాస్టర్ పేజ్ గ్యాలరీ ఈజ్ ద బెస్ట్ చాయిస్ అంటున్నారు. ఇట్స్ జస్ట్ ద కోడ్ కన్వెన్షనే తప్ప దేర్ ఈజంట్ లైక్ రియల్లీ ఆడ్స్ in here and there with respect to developer. ఎక్కడ పెట్టినా కానీ we need to refer the file and use it. But contents అంటే ఏంటంటే contents is for end user. That's why ఏమంటున్నారంటే whatever developer related files, don't place in the contents, place it somewhere where regular user will not go and see. Means regular user will not and should not come here. This is meant for only a technical people who wants to do some changes. And contents is a location where a regular user, like who wants to do a regular collaboration of documents or seeing his documents or seeing some content. Interview? Exactly. ఆ రీజన్ మూలంగానే they say they're not advising to keep here, but for our sake just we'll keep here. But even in the next example we'll keep here. It's a same approach, it's no difference at all. For developer view it is same, but it's only about the accessibility of files, who can access what. Okay, and I was telling the reason I opened the IE is you can use open with Explorer option, and again this open with Explorer will not work sometimes when your site is not in a trusted zone. Let me see. Now if I click that, it's not opening. Okay, now it's already opened, means it is working for me. But in your case, if it doesn't work, you need to go in the security and see it should be in the trusted zone. I think mine is already in the trusted zone. That's the reason it opened. But in case if yours didn't open, you need to open this part. Anyway, you just copy paste everything and add to a security tab in the trusted zones. Then your site will be in the trusted zone. Then it will open as a Windows Explorer. Okay, this is what it is. And I want to copy few files here, which is image and JS. These two I want to copy. And as it copies, let's talk about this and change this piece. And our interest is this one to refer to the style library, which the path we will get it from our place, and this one is good. Okay, copy the whole thing. We'll call it as, usually extensions I keep it as txt, but you can keep any extension for the content link file. For now I'm keeping this way. This is there. Only thing here it worries me is these styles. The reason is SharePoint has its own hell lot of styles, and if your styles are conflicting with SharePoint styles, then that's going to screw up the SharePoint page. I'm not sure what these styles are going to do. Let's see. Okay, now it's all copied. It's there, and let's go and see from our page. Other option, even you can upload the files or drag and drop the files. That's totally okay, but easy is if you can work on Windows Explorer. To know the path of the file, you see these all green arrows. This green arrow in the right bottom corner, that's meant that this file is checked out. That means this library has a versioning feature on, turned on. Okay, this is versioning turned on, and let's check in those files. To do a bulk check-in or bulk publish, we have one option, that's you need to go to site settings, or you can do it file one by one. That option is always there. WebPart, and come to image, click this and check in. This option is always there, but if you want to do all the files in one go, keep this as a major. You don't need to retain checking in. Okay, this is good, but now let's do it. To do a bulk check-in, you should come to site administration and content and structure link. This is the content and structure. If you come there, you can do all the files in a folder, but you can't do it in the subfolders or the child folders of that. I will tell you what I mean by that. Sorry, it's in WebPart, and come to img folder, select all this and action, check-in. So you can do check-in when comments are not compulsory. For now I'm not giving, but if it's a production, it's always safe to give some comments so that you know why you changed. The reason why I'm checking in is this: when you go to this library, if you place the files by yourself, then you are able to read them, but who are at a visitor level, they can't see the files. For them it shows that it's a empty folder, or it appears like as if it doesn't exist at all. Publish. But I will keep for the JS without checking in. Okay, the reason why I'm saying is, as I am the person who is a contributor, even though I didn't check in or publish, as they were contributed by me, still I can access them. Okay, but the reason why I came here is we can do a bulk check-in through content and structure link, and if you refresh this, all files are checked in, and go back to JS, and these files are not checked in. Okay, fine, that's all right, it's totally fine. And my interest here is I want to get the link and it seems to be stuck. Okay, this is a complete path, and the root path is this for now, and this is style library. If we take up to style library and JS, should be good enough. That's a percentage, 20 is for space. And we can actually test it so that we have an option like debugging. And this I'm saving it again. I want to save it in a WebPart thing, and this file should be checked in, published, even to see from a content data WebPart. I will show you what I mean. WebPart content dot txt, which is saved as txt, but as I saved as txt, it immediately changed. Okay, now if you remember, I didn't change the images files, but I just want to check the path is right and it is rendering in a proper way. As of now, this is all good, and this web part, instead of this, we want to use a content link, and we didn't place that content link anywhere. And let's go here, not this one. Let's go to this web part. This is a style library still, SharePoint library, which I opened with Windows Explorer, and drag and drop my content web part underscore content dot txt. And this one should be checked in. Just remember why it should be checked in, because web part is going to look for this. I will show you what I mean by web part. Check in major version, and I always try to get the path from here so that it makes life easy. Copy it from here and paste it from here. We can give full path, or we can give the relative path. I mean, we can give the absolute, means the full URL, or the relative means from the root it will take as this, and apply. Do we need this? If this is working well, then this shouldn't show up. That means the path has some issues. For now, let me copy paste everything again, and let me say apply. Okay, if this works, that means whatever we have written on this, and even it won't allow us to write. For now I'm just using this, but let me remove this. Maybe this is causing issue, or what it is causing issue. Not this one, maybe it is this. No, for now let's. The main problem is it's taking as a root, means up to this it is taking. That could be the problem. Let me take off up to this and check it. Yeah, but in reality you will not have, like, I mean, you might have it for development purpose or some internal sites using a site/pp something. Usually we will have a proper name, maybe something like a company name, like a whatever Microsoft / something. So in that case we don't have to keep site/pp, all those things. If we just remove this, it will go from the root. Okay, even this will apply in our case as well at the JavaScript level, but let me show you where it is breaking and how the code is rendering. Check it in. Looks like there is some slash character somewhere. Publish it. And as a regular page, you can do the debugging normally. For debugging, I mean, the client-side debugging, always go with the Chrome, so that you know what are the errors you have on the console. If you see it's not able to load this, let's copy this exactly. So let's copy this to our notepad and copy the file from this and compare it. Where is it going wrong? I copy this. Okay, if you see, this obviously looks smaller, and here, yeah, I know. See, because as I am the contributor and I logged in as me, when I'm seeing the web part, still these files I can, for development purpose, it's alright. I can still get these files accessible. But now the problem is path seems to be the problem. This is the correct path, and here it has a wrong path. What is the difference here is, here it is getting as pages unless I put pages somewhere in my reference. Let us see that. Style library. Okay, it is getting from the pages, so let me take from here. Slash here, and this is slash here, and save it. And I just saved it. Okay, and again I need to move this file to here. must be checked out. Okay, let us check in this checkout first. Checkout. But for development purpose, I mean, if your production is going to have this versioning functionality, then it's better you keep the versioning feature on and do your coding. But if you think that this document will not have versioning functionality turned on, then it's better to take off and you can do your development. Replace the file. And refresh it and check in this file. Okay, and our page is this, and to do our testing, like I said, let's always go to the Chrome and see what are loading and what are not loading. And again, if you see, it is, why is it referring to there? Pages is, we haven't, I don't remember mentioning that part in there. Okay, this is totally fine, but this one, style library, let me see how does it look like. Edit, notepad slash, oh okay, it's my bad. How did I do it? Oh okay, maybe I copied the whole path. Okay, before we save, we need to check out this item. Okay, and I changed this one, and let's save it. Saved it and check in. Only the content file I'm checking in, guys. That's must, because content file, it doesn't get updated with the latest one if you don't check in when you are using in a from a web part. Okay, let me go to Chrome. Okay, we are getting something, but not too bad. And let's fix this images thing. Images, and the path will be exactly as JavaScript styles. Sorry, JavaScript. Let me go back to here now, to the web part, and do checkout. And open the file again. Let's open with 2013. Maybe makes our life easy. Just copy this piece of information, I guess. No, I think, sorry, it is different because we saved it in WebParts/images. So copy up to this and look for source. Okay, this is image, and sorry if and there is some background. And maybe we can do a replace, but let's not worry about replacing. saving this. Just to be sure, let's look for image. All source. Okay, these are sources. Looks like. Okay, this one is left out. Again, source. Okay, looks all good. And let's see even in here, styles thing. Okay, assuming all good, but anyway, as it is UI, it is easy to find any issues. If it is a business logic, then it is really pain to figure out what are the runtime errors. But UI, there is a pros and cons. We can easily figure it out if there is an issue. But the pain in UI is building up, is time taking, like this. Okay, now we don't have any console errors, all good. Awesome. This is the web part. I mean, maybe this is not really the production ready web part, but this is kind of web part maybe we are expecting. Maybe we want to expand this up to this level or sizes. Those are all cosmetic things which I wouldn't really bother for now. And just out of interest, why we are getting this, let us see this. There is some character here. If we remove that character and that, just remove the space, not my interest is this bit. Maybe I copy pasted or I have something slash there, backslash left out here, so this is the reason they are disappearing. But anyway, I won't worry too much about that for now. But okay, this is what even it's not allowing me to save because the file is not checked out. We'll check out later and do it, but don't worry about that. Because if somebody asks you to do a slider, and if they say it's going to be a static and maybe they will change it maybe once in a 3 years or once in a 1 year, this is totally fine. If they want it for temporary, this is totally fine. This is what you have to do. Okay, but other way, if they say, if the requirement is that you need a list or something, they want to change it regularly, and where there should be a control. Now if you see, the first one is birds, second one is hills, and third one is again birds. In the evening, kids are running, and a big tortoise, and hills. Okay, this is the order now it is. And being from a developer perspective, we say okay, everything is coming up and it's totally fantastic. But from a functionality wise, maybe the priorities of showing up could be different. They might say today it should be eagles and tomorrow it might be something else. And so they want to have some custom ordering functionality, and they might say today we want to show everything, but maybe after 3 days we want to show only 3 because we don't want to keep user in the same screen for too long. That's not really the point, they might feel. So those kind of features we can do it, but you need to keep one person should be there like modifying HTML every day. But that's not the point of automation. The point of automation is you code once, and end user should be able to reuse your code in controlling the flow or functionality, at least at a defined level, not really totally completely changing something, but like a sorting and which is sorting means a display order. They should be able to control it. And active and inactive, maybe they might say this image is active for today and tomorrow it's not, shouldn't be inactive. Maybe they want to hide it. So the point where I'm going is these content, for me it's a developer is a content, could be image or whatever. This single liner is again a content. I don't care what it is, it's just a content for me. And even all those things are this text, single line of text, I assume it is coming from a text, not from an image. This all, maybe now it is image, text, custom layers. I want this to be a proper meaningful way and could be different. Maybe for as we have a movie like Finding Nemo, maybe tomorrow I want to change it to a Finding Dory. So those texts should be, I mean, for this sake I'm not saying it should be changeable in everywhere, in every environment. Now we are targeting a web part to exactly to come up with this web part, but to give some sort of control to the user where they can change the images. Today this is a child layer, it says, and it has the images, and now I want to replace that image with another image. User should be able to change that image and change this context, this text, and even this piece of text they should be able to change it. Now for that we will integrate with a list. That means we need to bring all this information into a list. That is step 1. And step 2 is we need to bring our code which we used last 2 weeks into our web part, where we integrate with the columns. And we should give an option in the web part as a properties to say, I want this web part to bring from one list. Maybe tomorrow I might say, okay, I want to create another web part exactly as this. When I say create, from end user point of view, he wants to use the web part from a different page, but from a different list as well. Altogether totally a same slider functionality, but using a different list, so it will consume a different data. Okay, that's where we are going now. Is it clear, or any confusion, or totally not understanding, or all good? How? Oh, okay. See, let me edit this page. This is a content media web part. Step 1. Okay. Sorry, content media, I always get, I don't know why I say that. This is a content editor web part. The group is content and media. So if you take the content and editor web part, and you have an option to either give the path of content link file. It can be any extension, any name, but it should be reachable from this web part. If I remove this, what I did is, this is what I wrote before. Okay, but yeah, any file, as long as it has HTML, and if you can place that HTML file in somewhere in SharePoint which can be reachable for this user, and you can place it. And if you have this content link file, this will take the precedence over whatever text you have. This text I wrote it from here. See, the content link you can't edit from here. You need to edit the content link file wherever you placed it. Okay, But if you got it, but if you don't need that complex requirement, what you can do is you can just do a simple text here. What I mean is you can, if you go here to Sydney Herald, I'll just go to newspaper and let me place this for the time being here. And here I think today we are having elections here. Hopefully they will talk about elections. Okay. Maybe you think this is good enough for now. Let me remove this. I didn't remove. I'm just copying it. If you think this is good enough, it's totally fine, because I have seen many sites where the site is just used for showing to the end users, means like mainly the town council sites or municipality sites, where the content will not change every day. They will have few pages like how to get your voter card. That process will not change every 2 years. So that kind of information they will write it here. So nothing fancy. Okay. Or how to reach your district court, or how to file a case in police station. Those kind of things, they're called policies or procedures. Those things, they don't change very often. So they use this content editor web part and chuck in their content and publish, check in this page and publish. That's all happy days. Okay. But if you have a complex functionality, but you don't if you think that you can meet with a content link editor web part, that's totally happy. But if you have a content link, which if the path is working well, then this content will take precedence over this content, and this will start work. But whatever references you have in this file, these references, and it is again totally your responsibility to keep it in proper location and check in those files. How many links? What do you mean by link? You can have, of course you can have, I mean, though not like thousands, you can add lot. I'm just adding one more. But you can add as much content as you want, but end of the day, it's whether is it useful for your end users. If you really bloat with a lot of content, it's not so useful. Your page won't be useful. But technically, yes, answer is you can add as many web parts as you need. I'm adding exactly the same another one below. No. This is totally as another web. Okay, then let me delete this. For one content editor web part, you can refer only one content link file. That content link file is nothing but a HTML file, say HTML file, that's all. I mean multiple, not HTML, but multiple JavaScript files or image files you can add here. These are totally HTML content. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Ramesh, all good? Or Ramesh still there? Okay, na? ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్. నేను ఇక్కడికి ఆపనా ఈరోజు, లేకపోతే కెన్ ఐ కంటిన్యూ టు క్రియేట్ అ లిస్ట్? సరే, ఓకే గైస్, నేనైతే ఇప్పుడు ఐ విల్ స్టాప్ ద రికార్డింగ్ సెషన్ అండ్ సెండ్ యూ ద వీడియో. ఓకే, అండ్ I will send the link from where we downloaded. I mean, in fact, I think Rakesh sent us the link. I will keep that link also somewhere in useful links. So you guys practice that. We will exactly do the same thing with WebPart. The WebPart, we will have the list there so that end user doesn't have to change the HTML and we can change content dynamically. Okay. Exactly, images, we will add images and we will add the single line of text which it is coming means, and even the sorting and even active or inactive. When let's say, let's go to this site. Okay, in this site, that slider web part will be there, I'm sure should be something. Okay, this is one slide. No, it's not sliding, but if I want to look for but anyway, what I'm trying to say is, let's go to in order then. This is a slider web part, I mean our carousel. Okay, every day in order editor they come here and they update one image, if required one line of text, and even they tell the sorting. And because when we refresh it, it is important that which image comes first. They want this image to come first. That's why whenever you load, the first image will be this about the movies. They want to make that as priority, and the second one is should be this one. So they want to control the order, and they want to make active and inactive. After tomorrow they will totally remove these images and they will change different images. All those content they will control from the list. That's why we will have a list as a content holder, and a web part will consume the data from the list and show it here. Yeah, అది మన కోడింగ్లో చేస్తాం. That all we will do coding. We haven't started that part, but before 2 classes good చెప్పిన idea ఉంటే we consume the data from the list, but now we will have kind of a if conditions. We will have a column there as a active, and we'll have a column there as a display order in the list. We'll bring in the display order, but we'll bring only the active files. Okay. Okay guys, then I'm stopping it now. So are we starting tomorrow same time, 9 o'clock? For me it is totally fine, but for you guys, tell me. Rakesh, does it work for you or too early? Okay, no, okay, so let's do it at 7:30 your time. Okay. ఓకే ఓకే, ఇది అయిపోయిన వెంటనే యా టీమ్ వ్యూవర్లోకి వస్తాను నేను. ఓకేనా, లేకపోతే దీంట్లోనే చూసేద్దాం, మళ్ళీ ఫోన్ కాల్ చేయలేము కదా. యా, నువ్వు ఒకసారి నీకు నేను ఇస్తాను. ఏంటి రాకేష్, ఏంటది? యా, నేను ఇప్పుడే పంపిస్తాను. ఐఎమ్ స్టాపింగ్ ద